Have you ever wondered what would happen if the gods of two mighty empires clashed? What if the stoic, orderly gods of Rome went head-to-head with the ancient, mystical deities of Egypt? This isn't just a hypothetical question, it's a cosmic showdown for the ages. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nightforge. Today we're diving deep into a battle of legends. The Roman Pantheon versus the Egyptian Ennead, who would truly reign supreme. Let's set the stage. On one side, we have the Roman gods, masters of order, war, and civilization. Think of Jupiter, the king of the gods, hurling thunderbolts from the heavens, a symbol of absolute power and authority. Alongside him is Mars, the god of war, a relentless strategist whose legions are unmatched in discipline and brute force. Then there's Minerva, the goddess of wisdom and strategy, whose plans are as sharp as her spear. The Roman Pantheon represents structure, military might, and the unyielding expansion of empire. They are the architects of law and the patrons of legions that conquered the known world. On the other side, we have the Egyptian Ennead, some of the oldest and most mysterious gods in history. At their head is Ra, the sun god, who sails across the sky each day, a symbol of creation and cosmic order. There's Osiris, the lord of the underworld, who holds the keys to life, death, and resurrection. His brother, Set, is the god of chaos and storms, a wild, untamable force of nature. And let's not forget Isis, the master of magic, whose spells can deceive gods and bring the dead back to life. The Egyptian gods are deeply connected to the natural world, magic, and the intricate cycles of existence. Now, imagine the ultimate cosmic clash, the battleground, the entire mortal realm, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. The conflict begins not with a bang, but with a whisper of magic. Isis, using her powerful enchantments, could weave illusions to confuse the Roman legions. She might create phantom armies or make rivers turn to sand, disrupting the Romans' meticulously planned supply lines. Roman strategy, which relies on logic and order, would be thrown into chaos by a force it cannot comprehend. But the Romans wouldn't stand idly by. Mars, infuriated by this mystical trickery, would rally his forces. He isn't just a brawler, he's a brilliant general. He'd command his demigod heroes and spectral legions to forge ahead, their disciplined formations pushing through the magical fog. Mars's strength lies in direct confrontation. He'd seek out his counterpart, Set, the god of chaos. This would be a fight of pure, unadulterated fury. Set, with his monstrous strength and control over desert storms, would unleash sandstorms to blind the Roman armies. Mars, armored in divine steel, would charge through, his sword clashing against Set's chaotic energy in a maelstrom of destruction. Meanwhile, a duel of kings ignites the heavens. Jupiter, from his throne on Olympus, sees the chaos unfolding. He views the Egyptian gods as disruptive forces, threats to the cosmic order he upholds. He would unleash his most powerful thunderbolts, aiming to strike down the Egyptian sun god, Ra. But Ra is no easy target. As he sails his solar bark across the sky, he is the source of all light and life. A direct assault from Jupiter's lightning might be deflected by Ra's radiant energy, creating a spectacular, blinding explosion in the sky that would be visible across the world. Their battle would be one of raw, elemental power of the storm versus the sun. Who would prevail? The god who commands the heavens' fury, or the god who is the very source of celestial power? The conflict escalates. On the ground, the battle for the souls of the dead begins. Osiris, ruler of the serene Egyptian afterlife, would find his domain under threat. Pluto, the Roman god of the underworld, might see this as an opportunity to expand his own shadowy kingdom. But Osiris is not just a king. He is a symbol of rebirth. He could call upon the spirits of ancient pharaohs and resurrected warriors to defend his realm. Imagine mummified armies rising from their tombs, animated by divine will, clashing with the ghostly legions of Pluto's domain. This wouldn't be a battle of swords, but a war for the very essence of the afterlife. And what about the goddesses of wisdom? Minerva, the Roman strategist, would be working tirelessly to find a weakness in the Egyptians' magic. She understands that direct force might not be enough. She'd analyze their patterns, study their rituals, and devise a plan to turn their own mystical power against them. Her opponent, Thoth, the ibis-headed god of knowledge and writing. This wouldn't be a physical fight, but a battle of intellects. Thoth, the keeper of all secrets, would counter Minerva's strategies with ancient arcane knowledge. He might rewrite spells as they are being cast or use sacred words of power to create unbreakable shields. It's a divine chess match where the fate of the universe is the prize. As the war rages, the mortal world suffers. Cities are leveled by divine energy. Harvests fail under a sky torn between sun and storm, and people are caught between two warring pantheons. This is where the core difference between the gods becomes clear. The Roman gods see mortals as subjects and soldiers, cogs in their grand imperial machine. The Egyptian gods, on the other hand, have a more symbiotic relationship with humanity. The pharaoh is a god on earth, and the people's fate is intrinsically linked to the god's well-being. This difference in philosophy would be a critical factor. So, who wins? It's not as simple as who is stronger. The Romans excel at organized warfare and direct power. If they could force a conventional battle, their disciplined might would be overwhelming. Mars's legions and Jupiter's thunderbolts are designed for conquest and domination. They could likely shatter the Egyptians' mortal armies and infrastructure. However, the Egyptian gods play a different game entirely. Their power lies in magic, the natural cycles, and the mysteries of life and death. Isis could potentially trap the entire Roman pantheon in an endless illusion. Osiris could refuse entry to Roman souls into the afterlife, causing cosmic imbalance, and Ra, as the sun itself, is a fundamental force of nature. Can you really defeat the sun in a fight? The Egyptians' greatest strength is their ability to subvert the rules of conventional warfare. They don't need to win on the battlefield. They can win by unraveling the very fabric of their enemy's reality. Ultimately, this cosmic clash would likely end in a stalemate, but one with devastating consequences. The Roman gods might claim victory on the physical plane, leaving Egypt's temples in ruins. But the Egyptian gods would inflict wounds on a deeper, metaphysical level. They could curse the Roman bloodlines, disrupt their connection to the divine, or trap their greatest champions in the underworld. The Romans might win the battle, but the Egyptians could win the war for reality itself. The price of victory for either side would be a universe thrown into eternal chaos, a world forever scarred by the war of the gods. What do you think? Who would you bet on in this divine duel? The mighty legions of Rome or the mystical guardians of the Nile? Let me know your theories in the comments below. It's a fascinating clash of mythology and power. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic journey through mythology. If you enjoyed this cosmic battle, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next dive into the world of legends. Until next time, stay curious.